Please read the disclaimer. Silver and gold are on a crazy run over the past few days. Silver has gone parabolic, but it's not just silver, it's also other precious metals. Why is this happening? Hint, it's coming from far in Eastern Asia. We'll talk about what's happening, what's going on with the precious metal markets. What can this tell us about the future of finance and where we're going in the other markets? Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. It's a little bit different than what we usually do, trying to mix it up a little bit towards the end of the year. We're going to be talking about silver. Silver is up 8.29% on the day. Silver is currently at $77.76 here on the market. There's different places and different prices a little bit for silver, but this is the price that I'm seeing right now. This is a massive run up here for silver. You can see for years the price of silver was consolidating, but right now it was around $25 for about 2-3 years. It dropped under 20, but now in the past 6 months, basically since the whole tariff shenanigans that we saw around April, we've seen the price of silver run up from about $28 per ounce to almost $78 per ounce. That's 173% in the last 266 days. So a big parabolic movement here for the price of silver. And you can see for years and years and years, silver had not really moved. There was a run up in the 80s before many of us were born, me including, right? So this is 1980. It ran up to $47, but dropped all the way to $3 in the 90s and now up to $77. Of course, it's not just silver. We got gold seeing all-time highs at 4,557. We got copper and palladium that are also seeing big movements here. And there was an interesting situation that happened today where the US Mint was selling platinum coins at $2,355 per ounce below the spot price, right? Which was at 2,470. So actually the US Mint was losing money on these coins. And they realized it in the end and stopped selling them. But this is an interesting situation that we can find sometimes with arbitrage and things like that that happen in the market. So that was a very interesting situation. So outside of all the regular things that, why would precious metals be going up? Historically, whenever people would buy gold or silver, that was for a hedge against fiat, right? Against the dollar, against the potential of something bad happening and money becoming worthless, and then having that alternative asset that would hedge against inflation, that would hedge against things that could happen around the world, geopolitical risk that could potentially be a possibility in 2026. We're seeing a potential of central banks that are going to start reducing interest rates around the world. We're going to see some easing. We're going to see some, money pumped into the markets. And when you have that current situation, there's this place where we could see more turmoil, more inflation in the future. And that is a potential to why this is happening. But it seems that silver specifically, right, is because of what's happening in China. So you can see here, silver prices are exploding due to a severe global supply shortage. The physical market can no longer meet soaring demand. Here's what is actually going on. China is changing the rules. Starting January 1st, 2026, China will restrict silver exports. To export silver, companies will now need government licenses. Only large state-approved firms qualify, at least 80 tons of annual production, around 30 million in credit lines. This effectively blocks small and mid-sized exporters. China controls roughly 60 to 70% of global silver supply. When China tightens exports, global supply drops immediately. When you have less supply, the price goes up. This is just how markets work, right? This is the same tactics China used with rare earth metals. If you remember, a few months back, there was also a situation that there was a fear that China would cut off these rare earth metals from the US, and that caused a lot of the friction that was happening between Trump and Xi around October, and that was one of the reasons why there was a talk about potential 100% tariff on China. But all that cooled off, and the markets rallied back. The silver market was already in short supply. Silver has been in structural deficit for 5 years. That means demand is higher than supply every single year. For 2025, the global demand was 1.24 billion ounces, and the global supply was 1.01 billion ounces. That is a gap of 100 to 250 million ounces, and this gap is expected to get worse after China's export limits. Mining supply is not growing. Silver mining is mostly a byproduct of copper and zinc mining. New mines take 10 plus years to build, ore quality is falling, recycling is not enough to fill the gap. There is not a quick fix here. Physical silver inventories are collapsing. This is where it gets serious. COMEX inventories are down 70% since 2020, London vaults are down 40%, and Shanghai inventories are at 10-year lows. At current demand, some regions hold only 30 to 45 days of unsaleable silver. This is why physical premiums are exploding. In Shanghai, physical silver trades for $80 plus an ounce. COMEX prices are much lower. The price gap means buyers are paying extra just to get real silver. And there's this video coming out of Singapore where people are standing in long lines to buy not only silver but also gold in Singapore, right? People are running to get the actual silver and gold, not just the potential of buying silver. You can buy a potential of there's some silver funds and ETFs and things like that, silver trusts, where you can mimic and not actually buy the physical silver, right? But as always, I just want to remind you, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Right now, it's going parabolic, and there could be a possibility that this continues, but there could also be a possibility that the price of silver will go down. I don't know why my picture got stuck there for a second. My camera must have not liked me talking about silver. You got a technical difficulty time. But there's a possibility that this continues to rally, right, into the next coming weeks. And there's also a possibility that investors look at this and they start shorting the price of silver. They try pushing the price down. So we need to be careful with this, okay? You have to decide, do you want to diversify yourself in metals, into silver, into gold, into platinum and palladium and copper and things like that? Or do you want to stay off of it? Because, I'm a big believer in diversification, and I'm a big believer that when something is running and there's possibility, there's opportunity with it. So, we can take a dip, right? But that's just how I like to do it. Again, you have to decide what's good for you, how much exposure you want to things like this, and decide if this is something that is interesting to you, right? Paper silver is completely disconnected from reality. There is extreme imbalance between paper silver and real silver. The paper to physical ratio is about 356 to 1. That means for every ounce of real silver, there are hundreds of paper claims. Even if a small percentage of buyers ask for delivery, the system breaks. Market understands this. This is why price moves are becoming vertical. Industry demand keeps rising. Silver is not just safe haven metal, it's critical for solar panels, electric vehicles, electronics, medical devices. Industrial use now make up 50 to 60% of total silver demand. There's no substitute for silver in many of these uses. Bank and institutions are reacting to supply limits, physical shortage, paper market risk. Silver is not rallying because of fear. It's rallying because of real supply squeeze is playing out in real time. So again, there's a possibility that the price of silver will continue to move up in the next coming days, next coming weeks. But we have to take into the consideration that it will come up, but there will be pullbacks and there will be sell-offs. And when something gets like this, there are short sellers. We've seen this previously with orange juice and cocoa, and we've seen this with oil, where these commodities can run up but then sell off very, very fast. So we need to be careful with this. It will be very interesting to track the price of silver and see where silver goes in the next coming days. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time.